So Tom'sGuide.com posted the early review of the Pixel Fold. They were able to get a hands-on look at the phone and give their early review, and here's what they have. Their early verdict. The Google Pixel Fold challenges Samsung directly with a thinner design and a hinge that engineered to be more durable. You also get a wider front display that's easier to use and a stronger zoom camera. But the full price is high and the bezels are large. So the early pros are wide front display, thinnest foldable yet, lot of optimized apps and taskbar, obviously using Android 12L's taskbar, handy tabletop mode and tent mode, powerful 5x zoom. The problems with it, the crease is fairly prominent. As I've seen more videos as time goes on, I said this in the very beginning and I'll say it again, the crease is there, guys. The crease is not going anywhere. Even with a second, third generation of this phone, I don't think the crease is ever going to leave. Samsung has never been able to get rid of it. Oppo and Vivo are really the only companies who have gotten rid of the crease on their foldable phones. So, for right now, we're going to see the crease forever. Samsung obviously makes their own displays for their own foldable cell phones. Google is using Samsung displays. So maybe it's just the Samsung displays and how they work is why there is a crease down the middle, and Oppo using a different company doesn't have that problem, but it's going to be a problem nonetheless for the foreseeable future. So if you don't like crease on cell phones, probably go back to candy bar cell phones, because I think that is the future for us at this moment in time. Number 2, chunky bezels. Now, of course, the bezels on the inside of the phone is a problem to a lot of people. I at first had a little bit of a problem with it, but after looking at it more and more, I have no problem at all. I think it's one of those things where it's like, yes, it's there, and yes, you can talk about it, but it's not that big of a, dilemma to me that I'm like, I'm not going to buy this phone because of that. The last one, in the very top one here, is really the biggest problem, and we have said this many times over the last couple months, is the very expensive price tag. The $1,800 price tag will turn off almost every single buyer out there. Especially, again, it is a first-gen product, so when you're asking for $1,800, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and go with it at this moment in time. Because, again, the price tag is just so outlandish, it's going to turn off almost anybody. That's why I said before, if this price tag came in at like $1,300, $1,400, even $400 less than it is now, it would get probably 4 or 5 times the amount of sales that a Z Fold series phone would get. Even being first-gen product. If you gave us a reasonable price tag, it would absolutely go through the roof, because so many people would be like, you know what? It looks good. It looks polished. Yeah, there's some problems, but it's so much cheaper than the Z Fold series phones. But because you're not giving us, you're giving us pretty much the same price tag for a phone that isn't as polished as the Z Fold series, it's a hard sell when the Z Fold 5 is coming out, and Z Fold 5 is going to probably be a pretty amazing phone. But here's what the article has to say. The Google Pixel Fold is a very late to the foldable phone party. But I'm not complaining because there's finally some real competition for Samsung in the battle for, and actually let me make this a little bit smaller for you guys. Hang on. There you go. For Samsung in the battle for the best foldable phones. And Google seems to be aiming right for the perceived weakness of the Z Fold series with its debut device. Hate the thickness of the Z Fold 4? The Pixel Fold is the thinnest phone yet. Wish the front display wasn't so squished? The Pixel Fold cover display has a wider aspect ratio. Google even claims its hinge is more durable out there based on its own drop test. Do not do your own. With $1,800, please do not do your own. At last, the Pixel Fold does not beat Samsung on price. Pixel Fold starts at $17.99, which is exactly what the Z Fold series costs, and what the Z Fold 5 is expected to cost when it arrives later this year. Also, the bezels on the foldable phones are pretty thick and the crease is pretty visible. I have to go hands down with the Pixel Fold in these impressions so far. Also, the problem is the Z Fold devices, whether you buy a Z Fold 4 or you buy a Z Fold 5 in the future, they get discounted like every other week. When the Z Fold 4 came out, a month after Z Fold 4 came out, the phone was like $1,500. Like, it was like $300-$400. Like, left and right. Now, the Google Pixel Fold right now, if you trade in a correct smartphone or whatever, you trade in something, you're going to probably get $600-$700 off. And if you do the Google Fi line, you get almost $1,000 off. So you can get it for cheaper with that stuff, but Samsung was literally discounting their phone for free, no strings attached, $1,500 and a watch within the first month of it being released. So maybe Google does the same thing. I highly doubt it at this moment in time. So the Google Pixel specs is cover display is 5.8-inch AMOLED 120Hz display. Main display is a 7.6-inch OLED 2208 by 1840 120Hz display. Refresh rate, I just said it. Tensor D2 chip, RAM 12 gigabytes, 256 gigabytes slash 512 gigabytes. Main camera is 48 megapixels, 10.8 ultra wide, 10.8 telephoto, 9.5 front camera, 8 megapixel inside camera, 4K up to 60 FPS on the back, 4821 milliamp battery, wired charging speed, wireless charging, yes. And again, it's a really amazing phone. Look at these pictures. And in my opinion, the bezels, yes, they're there. The bezels are there. You're not going to get behind that. They're not that bad. They're really not that bad. Front display does have bezels right here, around here. Again, it's a way bigger display than the Z Fold series. It's actually... Is it bigger technically? Because I'm pretty sure the Z Fold series is longer. Like Z Fold series up to here. I might be incorrect on that one. I feel like it's like longer. Very thin phone. And again, it is just absolutely amazing in every category possible. It's just that price tag is so crazy. I know you get a Pixel Watch, which is cool, and look at this, bam. By the way, that inside display, because it's not a UDC under display camera, it looks so much better than the 4 megapixel camera on the Galaxy Z Fold series phones. It looks so much better. You might say, well, of course, because that's an 8 and that was a 4 and this is an 8. No, that's not really. It's also the sensor underneath the camera. You have a camera underneath a plastic versus a camera here underneath a bezel, which is glass. So it looks so much better on this phone than it does on the Z Fold series. Overall, I had mixed reaction to the Pixel Fold. I love the outer display, how thin this phone is, and the fact that the Google has thought through all the ways you can use this device when it comes to optimized app and split screen multitasking. I'm also encouraged by the camera system and the 5-time telephoto lens. However, the bezels on the Pixel Fold are pretty chunky at this stage of the game, and the crease could be more subtle. And while the $17.99 price tag matches the Z Fold series, it's still crazy. Yeah. And I think that's pretty much everyone's opinion at this point. Is that while yes, it's, an amazing phone, it looks amazing, I've already pre-ordered it, it's that price tag. And let's be honest, this is something that can kill a phone. A phone can look amazing, be amazing, do everything you want possible, and be a crazy amazing product. But if the price tag is wrong, the phone ends up being wrong. It's just how it works. And that crease, again, it's there. It's there on the Z Fold series. It's there on the Google Pixel series. I will still say, day in, day out, this in my opinion, is the best foldable phone on the market. I will still stand by that statement. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.